What is up, Celtics Nation? The freaking Boston Celtics come back from down 20 to beat the Miami Heat today, 119 to 114. Woo! It feels good to beat the Miami Heat as usual, 9 in a row in Miami. I am the Parquet Poppy coming to you with the post game, little analysis from what we saw this game. This is my boy Adrian right here at NBA Swing Pass. What is up, man? How are you feeling after the Celtics win?
Feeling good, man. It started off a little sideways. We weren't connecting on anything. Rough start. Miami built up that lead early. We weren't hitting anything. We weren't engaged defensively, but came back and Anthony Simon saves the day.
Absolutely. Anthony Simons, the absolute player of the game today. Inferno goes off. This was a premier Anthony Simons game for the Boston Celtics. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. His best game in a Celtic uniform by far. And man, have we come a long way from this guy at the beginning of the season right now. Where he's currently at, what he's doing for the team, providing the spark off the bench that we used to rely on for Peyton Pritchard, and him taking over this role, being paid at the salary that he's being paid at to come onto this team and find this new role this year on the Boston Celtics, and just has been excelling the last I would say, three weeks now going on. And wow, what a game from him today. We're going to get into that in a little bit. Not before we do a little bit of some a little bit of trolling right now for the Miami Heat. I just went over and posted this right here because this is exactly what it's like to beat the Miami Heat in Miami. Let that play again. Yeah, they always easy, man. Anyways, bro, great game today. I mean, it wasn't like, the greatest game for the first three quarters, but that fourth quarter, man, the intensity of the defense, like you said, absolutely stepped up. Shots finally started going in that fourth quarter. I believe Celtics had made 10 buckets at one point to the Miami's 3 makes. So they really, really fought hard at the beginning of that fourth quarter when they went into that final frame down 10. And I believe they got a nice quick 6 points to start that quarter. And really, man, like you could just tell, like they were. It didn't look good in the first 3 quarters, like they could make this comeback, but they just stuck with it. They, they stuck to their game plan, and I want to give a shout out to Jaylen Brown, man, because this was absolutely not Jaylen Brown's best game. He hasn't had a really like good stretch of games so far. Pretty much since coming back from that West Coast trip, but for him to like notice and take notice that Anthony Simons was just on an absolute heater from that third quarter going into the fourth, and basically just, hey, like I'm not really trying to take over right now in this fourth quarter. You saw it a couple times, like within that 5-minute clutch stretch, but for the most part, Jaylen Brown just recognizing that Anthony was, playmaking, getting to the rim, attacking, getting his shot, step backs. I mean, everything was just working for him. And Jaylen in that fourth quarter just kind of like, step back a little bit, kind of let Anthony do his own thing, and actually didn't play Jaylen Brown takeover ball to try and control that fourth quarter and, be the guy that brings them to the win, which was a nice little shakeup, because it looked like Jaylen was forcing a lot. He was kind of like, really trying to impose like, hey, I'm the best two-way player on the court right now, but it just wasn't working for him. And for him to kind of like take that step back, let his teammate find his success and get to his spots and everything like that. Credit to Jaylen for being the leader and, not taking over when, other players I feel like might have tried to be like, all right, you had your hot streak, let me take over right now, close this thing out. But he let Anthony even, close it out, and it was just really good to see, man. There was a point where Anthony passed Jaylen the ball right there in that fourth quarter, going up the court, and Jaylen was kind of like, oh, shoot, I didn't even think this ball was coming to me. Jaylen kind of like stopped, hesitated for a second, dribbled back up the court. But you could just tell Jaylen was in that mode of basically saying, this guy's got this. He's brought us back into it. Let him take it to like, let him take us home today, rather than me being the one who's always, doing that job for the team. So, really good awareness from Jaylen right there, man. but yeah, just man, great to be on the opposite end of a 20-point, streak, 20-point game. And we're the ones that are making the comeback rather than the other team. So that was a really good showing today by the Celtics, man. Yeah, proud of them for getting that dub.
Yeah, it was a nice win. Well deserved. They did make that run, and yeah, it was just great quality win. Anthony Simons, he played season high minutes too. He played well over 30 minutes, and he
Pritchard
earned
didn't even
every.
yeah, Pritchard didn't even come back into the game, I don't think.
No, Pritchard. I don't think he got more than 2 points. He wasn't shooting the ball well, or he wasn't even attempting to shoot. I
He
think they
was
were
passive.
following him up.
Yeah, and he was passive today too. Yeah.
Yeah, so Simon's huge game. And I did quote this on Twitter. I said, Joe better not pull him out of the game because he was cooking. He
He
had to
he
play
was.
those last 8-10 minutes of that fourth.
He had to. The group that Joe had in there that was making that run to like really bring the Celtics within a fighter's chance going into that fourth quarter. Um, Jalen off the court. I even said it too. I'm like, you got to keep Jalen off right now. I mean, the offense that Jalen was playing when the Celtics were down by 20, 20, 15, 10 for most of this game, it wasn't working. When he went to the bench, I mean, something was just flowing with Anthony Simons in that offense. Jalen took a lot of shots this game. So it was really hard for the team to get into kind of like any sort of like offensive kind of rhythm when Jalen took 24 shots. Anthony took 28, but I mean they were going in, and those were the two guys that were man, I mean, between the both of them, that is a lot of shots. But you had to because you know, even though Jalen wasn't having the best game offensively, even defensively, he still was getting to the line. Same with Anthony Simons, 6 for 6 from the free throw line today. The only person that missed a free throw was Nemias Queta today. So the Celtics were still getting to the line. They were being rewarded for driving this game. So uh, yeah, man, it was just they found the way to win, and it was just really, really like Joe was like locked into the game. Really was like you know he figured it out. Like sometimes we'll say like to ourselves, man, like it's just a lot of ISO heavy ball. The ball sticking to every time the player touches the ball, like they're not really swinging it or anything. But when Joe took him out the game and let the offense run through Anthony Simons, and he realized he had it going right there, and then you eventually had to get Jalen back in the game, right? Jalen wasn't going to sit the whole fourth quarter while the team was going on this run. But when he put Jalen back in the game, Scal had mentioned it too. Jalen was playing more off ball. He wasn't really trying to, assert himself and take over the game like we've seen him do in the past and play the ISO one-on-one, trying to get the matchup. It was a really nice finish when you needed the Celtics to finish and like in the clutch and not mess it up at the end when they took their 6-point lead in those closing minute, and they didn't turn over or anything. They didn't make any mental mistakes to let the Miami Heat really get back in it, because it was still a very close game with the time remaining. Nice for the Celtics to pull ahead, make the entire comeback. But when you make the comeback and you build the lead, you keep it, right. The momentum could have easily swung back in Miami's favor. Any kind of turnover, live ball turnover, and so the execution at the end of the game was just really, really well. A very, very well played game at the end there. Championship level caliber type of effort and defense and mentality to pull out that win right there in Miami.
Yeah, I mean the Celtics just dominated second chance points. They were double digits. They were killing Miami on those second chances. Garza, if it was Nemi, a few. I mean, everybody was just keeping the ball alive. Jordan Walsh, another strong rebounding game from him. It was a team energy. I think once Joe started substituting, he put Walsh in the game and it took maybe Hauser or someone out. It, you could tell the energy level changed because they were flat in the beginning and they just weren't playing engaged basketball. But once they found their niche, late third or in the fourth, it was their game to take. So
Dude, they were still walking through that South Beach sand to start the game,
yeah,
bro. They
yeah,
were walking through sand still. It was like almost like they were just still at the beach, forgot that the game started. And but yeah, they picked it up in that second half for sure. And it's the type of effort that we're accustomed to seeing from the Celtics with a more stacked roster. I mean, you go down by 20 with last year's roster, you're like, okay, that's not like this team. They've shot at historic levels before. The same squad, right? They didn't have the best year. They didn't have as good of a year as last year, but you know. With this roster that we have right now, they go down by 20. It really will feel like it's going to be tough for the Celtics to come back in this. And when they show you that they can, it really says a lot to the team, man. It really a lot of credit goes to those guys because I'm here thinking like that first half, something's going on, man. Like 3 games in a row, we're gonna start out like this and lose 3 in a row. And Scout was saying it too on the broadcast, just like, hey, we've lost 2 in a row, like we need something, man. Like you would have thought that two losses in a row or would wake these guys up to start the game, but Miami came out hot. And like you were saying about those second chance points, without those, I mean, the Celtics could find themselves being down 30 points in that game and absolutely have zero shot at coming back, for a comeback attempt. And the second chance points were absolutely key in that game for the Celtics to, have that chance at the end, in that clutch time to take the lead and win the game. And just a great, effort all around. Not to start the game, but to recognize, oh shoot, hey, we're down 20. We can't go out like this.
yeah. They had to snap that losing streak. You don't want to lose 3 in a row and potentially, make a bigger losing streak happen. They
Right.
haven't lost three games in a row since the beginning of the year, so it was good. We snapped out of it. We play
Hmm.
again Saturday night. Try to stack another one.
Yeah. Who's that next opponent? I can't even remember right now.
They did say it. I just can't remember. I know it's Saturday, bro.
Yeah, we'll get to it. It don't matter right now. But yeah, man. Celtics fans showed out again. It was quiet. The Celtics fans were pretty quiet most of that game, until that fourth quarter when you start hearing the "Let's go Celtics" chants. And Miami, man, they went on a nice little scoring tear in that first quarter to put them up by like 20 points, man. Swoops, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in again. He said the Hawks are the next opponent. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you tuning in today. If you want to tune in, you can watch on YouTube. We're also live on X as well. The Dynasty Proud podcast, the @ handle is right there at the bottom. Boston Sports Entertainment Network at the bottom as well, their handle. But yeah, man, give us a follow and come chat with us, talking some hoops. Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and take a look at the box score real quick. And let's see what Celtics were working with today. 29 minutes from Sam Hauser gave you 17 points. Solid game from Sam Hauser today. Like that right there is what you need from Sam, from game to game. You give me the 12 to 17 point range from Sam Hauser. I'm happy with that. But he was pretty clutch today. He had that super 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 clutch tap in at the end of the game right there to put the Celtics up to extend their 2 possession lead. And without that going in, it could have been a little bit more hairy for the Celtics there, closing out that game. 3 assists to go along with 3 rebounds, and solid game from Sam today. Can't ask for anything better than that. You can, but that is what you will expect from Sam. Well, that's what we expect from Sam Hauser, game in
Yeah.
and game out. Nemish Keita today, 20 minutes, 9 points, and 4 or 5 from the field, 9 rebounds today. Didn't hit that 10 mark like he's been hitting recently, but that's okay. He played okay. When Bam Adebayo was cooking in that first half, you just had to take what Bam was giving you.
Yeah.
Nemish hasn't always been the greatest defender, but Bam Adebayo, he still has kind of like a little bit of a bag. Not the greatest season this year, but going up against talent like Nemish Keita, Bam, you're likely to see him go off. What did he end up with today? 22 points on 8 of 19, but only 4 rebounds from him today. So wasn't really doing much on the glass. A lot of his supporting cast was kind of like helping him out with that. Andrew Wiggins with 8 rebounds himself, and their bench just absolutely like cleaning up some glass as well today. Um, Back to the Celtics, 36 minutes from Derek White, only 8 points, man. He was not giving us nothing really from the field. And that's I honestly, credit to Miami's defense. They had him in jail. I mean, they were pretty much like trying to bet on anybody beating you besides Derek White and Jalen Brown from the defense that they were playing today, because Jalen Brown also had some, about five something turnovers. Well, let me look at it right here, actually. Jalen Brown with, 5 turnovers today. So
Yeah.
a lot of teams have been attacking Jalen Brown too on the dribble, just seeing if he can hold on to that ball, and it's been getting to him lately. Jalen has not been has been playing as comfortable lately as he was when he was going on those 30 game, those 30 point game streaks right there. So, but yeah, I mean, Derek White was still aggressive, still made an amazing block in that fourth quarter, to keep the Celtics lead alive, and 5 assists, 6 rebounds. So, even though you didn't get the scoring output from Derek White, he was still a little bit aggressive, got to the line, rebounded for you, made some assists, and 2 blocks on the game. You know, that was still a great not a great Derek White shooting night, but it was still a great Derek White performance as far as the defensive end goes. Um, Absolutely lucky to have him, the greatest the greatest shot blocking guard, like bar none in the NBA, and we needed that block in that clutch, so for sure. Jalen Brown today, not a really efficient 27 points today. He was 9 to 24 from the field, 2 of 7 from the three, but still got to the line and was perfect, man. 7 for 7 from the free throw line. Also had 7 rebounds, but those 5 turnovers in the first, and then in that first half, I believe he got all 5 in that first half. It might have
Yeah.
been the first three. It might have been the first 3 quarters, but solid down the end of the stretch of the game. Didn't try to take over when Anthony Simons was just, absolutely pouring it on. And then Peyton Pritchard, man, 2 points tonight, 1 of 4. He looked like he was trying to distribute. He did not look like he was trying to shoot. The 8 assists kind of like speak to that. And a minus 20 on the team worst. He just could not find it this game. I don't know what was bothering him this game, but Scal had mentioned it too. It looked like he was playing passive. It looked like he was like are you going to shoot? He kind of didn't want to. Something was going on, not really sure, but Joe kind of like said, "Hey man, not your night. Anthony Simons is pretty much taking over your spot as far as the scoring goes." And what a night from him. Like, let's just get to him right now. First off the bench, the first guy to talk about off the bench, Anthony Simons, 34 minutes, 39 points on 13 to 28 from the field, and 7 of 16 from the 3-point line. 6 of 6 at the free throw line, and 4 rebounds, 4 assists, plus 18 on the team. I mean, what an absolute monster performance off the bench. What they say, that this was the most points off the bench in a road game in like Celtics history, or since
Mm,
like one of those older players, like insane.
yeah.
Just really, really, really great stuff. Um, but yeah, man, just absolutely, just I don't even know what to say. Like, watching it live was just like whoa, what? Like, this is happening? Like, we're coming back, and it's on the shoulders of Anthony Simons, the guy
Yeah.
who's been talked about getting traded for a lot this year. Like, holy crap. I mean, what a great like what a great game from him. I mean, that's gonna go down as like a top Celtics game off the bench. I mean, like, you don't see this.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
credit to him, man. Yeah, Swoops out here, great comeback win for the Boston Celtics. Honestly, man, great, like you said, great comeback win. But this was a great comeback win for Anthony Simons because that guy literally put it all on his plate. He said, "No one's scoring. The energy at the beginning of the game wasn't where it needed to be." He comes off of the bench and he says, "I got this." Like he you know hop on the back. I'm gonna take y'all up this hill. We're getting to the mountain. We're winning this game. And like having a guy like that come off the bench, I mean, do we see him being on the bench for much longer after a performance like that? I mean, the guy gets paid like starter money.
yeah,
So when you have guys like Peyton Pritchard, who hasn't really been having the greatest year in this starting role for the Boston Celtics, and do you switch him? Like, do you make a change right now
mm,
for the Boston Celtics? I don't know if you do it
yeah,
right now, but it's a thought, right? It's a seed
yeah,
that's been planted now for this team, because that scoring output that you can get from Anthony Simons in the starting unit when guys like Jalen Brown, when guys like Pritchard, when guys like Derek White aren't having a solid shooting night. I mean, you put the ball in that kid's hands, let him go to work.
yeah,
What is like what is stopping the Celtics from doing that? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, um,
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they have their roles. I think Joseph's going to keep his status quo just
mhm.
because they've already accustomed Simons to that six man and Peyton's been a starter. So new roles to flip flop them. I don't see that happening. And plus, you need that scoring off the bench. And Simons is the only guy that can give you consistent scoring off the bench. So,
But I mean, I hear you. I hear you, right? Like the guys are locked into their spots, right? This is Payton Pritchard's first year starting for the Boston Celtics after being resided to the bench, pretty much all his career. Yeah, like you said, the status quo. Um, but I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. I guess you don't do it.
I mean,
But I mean, Anthony Simons gets paid like a starter, right? Like,
yeah,
like eventually he's going to, have keep having these performances and want to be the guy like on to start with alongside Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum if he comes back.
yeah.
You're paying him, right? So Brad likes him too. And if you do switch those roles, do you think it helps Peyton Pritchard out a little bit? I mean, do you think
Mhm.
Peyton Pritchard takes offense to it? Is that why you're saying like maybe no?
I just think, I mean, if you were to start Simons, it would have been in the beginning. I was an advocate for him
Okay.
starting just because it was his normal role, and Peyton was used to coming off the bench.
Hmm.
Like if they flip flopped, it's not. It could be a positive too. I mean, maybe you have
Right.
a point to that, but I don't. Joe admires his guys. Joe has his guys, and Peyton's one of his guys. I don't think he's gonna put him on the bench midway through the season just because that's Joe's guy. He's won the championship with them. He's been
Okay.
there,
Yeah.
Maybe it's more of a respect thing too. But
Okay.
a point with Simons is his defense has improved dramatically. Joe keeps saying it, his
It has.
defense is getting better, 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 better. And if he continues on this trend, maybe he does take the starting job away from Peyton. Maybe Joe won't have a choice. But he's getting a lot better in Missoula's system. And at this point, I don't trade him. I don't trade him. I don't care if it's a
Mm,
big or whatever you can get for him. Ride it out. And the biggest acquisition is Jason Tatum. That's the
yeah.
big acquisition at this point.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you don't get rid of him. He can't be in a trade. Like it's gonna have to be. It's really gonna have to be this team going past the trade deadline. I really feel like that's what's gonna end up happening. Shout out Mouthpiece. What's up, man? Mouthpiece 617 saying, "What's goody squad? What's goody, bro? Thank you for coming in and dropping a comment, man. We really appreciate that. Appreciate you coming out, man. Um, but yeah, like you were saying, man. But once Tatum does come back, I think Joe looks at this. I think it gets looked at. I think Joe will look at the lineup. You know, basically like put. I don't know.
It's tough.
Try
It's
try
tough.
try to compare you like he's gonna look at them, try to see like, hey, what does this guy bring to the table with Tatum, and what does this guy bring to the table with Tatum and Jalen, and basically like it can be a toss up, right? But the thing is we never know what kind of game Peyton Pritchard is gonna have, right? Like today against a Miami team who let's give Miami a little bit of credit. They're not like a team that's you know a slouch. You know, they have the number one transition or some sorry, number one pace of play
Pace of play, yeah.
in the NBA, right? So these guys are fast. Like they're going to get at it, and the Celtics have to adjust to that. Um, but it just felt like Peyton can't adjust sometimes, and especially against like I'm not saying especially against, but when he does play a little bit of a higher competitive team, a little bit better competition, he does tend to not have his best scoring performances. He does kind of like beat up on like, a little bit of the teams below 500, those middling teams. And I don't know. I don't put a lot of like stock into it because I'm like, okay, yeah, better teams are better teams. Like if you're not like a superstar player or like an all-star player, yeah, you are going to struggle, right? Payne Pritchard hasn't made an all-star team or anything like that, so he's going to struggle. And from what I've seen from Anthony being put in the same situations, playing against the same, competition and everything when he's inserted into the game, it does seem like a little bit more natural to him, a little bit more fluid. He's been a starter in the past before. He's played multiple games at the starting position. So nothing really phases him when it comes to the level of competition when he's in that role. So, if you get to the playoffs and stuff and you're playing higher competitive teams, do you still go to Payne Pritchard, or do you go to the guy that's had, starting experience, seems to play a little bit more, with a looser kind of bag, a little more fluid, knows how to score. Like obviously the Celtics know that he can score, and once he gets hot and he goes crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like, wouldn't you want that in the playoffs? Like, wouldn't you want that alongside Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to take off that the offensive load when they're being targeted on defense? Honestly, it's a good problem to have. We're
Yeah.
talking about it, right?
Yeah.
It sounds bad for Joe, but it's honestly a good problem to have. Depth
Yeah.
is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, we're playing pretty well with the rebounding and everything like that. That's kind of seemed to turn around this season. So you don't really like, do they really need that big? Like you're saying, I feel like they still need to score more points than the other team. And having a guy that's an offensive weapon like that is good for this Celtics team. You need that depth of shooting.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. It's definitely a good problem to have. Anthony Simons, he's a clutch scorer. He's a clutch performer. He can create. He's athletic enough to get to the basket. He's quick enough. Him and Peyton to have contrasting styles. Peyton's more of a I'll
Mm-hmm.
dip my shoulder into you, I'll get into the paint, and I'll hit floaters and I'll hit the threes. Simons is better on transition. Simons is more athletic, like I said, quicker.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's got more juice to his game. He's got more of a bag.
You're right.
Yeah, it's just contrasted styles. I mean, I wouldn't mind if Joe reversed the roles and started Simons. I was an advocate in the beginning for Simons to start,
Mm-hmm.
just because he was a starter his whole career in Portland.
Right.
But
But
we'll
it's like
see. Yeah.
But it's like you said, right? Right. Peyton is his guy. And this is the first opportunity that Peyton's got, right? He's earned this opportunity. So, but it's not to say that Anthony Simons can't take that job. I don't think that's, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility that Anthony Simons, when it comes to, getting closer to the playoff time, Tatum's back. They need to figure out how to incorporate Tatum back into this team. If Tatum's offense isn't what it used to be, right, that would be understandable. But maybe you need a guy like Simons in that starting role. And unfortunately, Payne Pritchard goes back to kind of like a reserve role because I don't see him like Simons with the defense, like you said, getting better. Him with, you have him and then you got Derek White, Tatum, Brown, Nemish starting. I think that's a really solid defense. I and like you said, with Simon's playing better defense now. Like it's clearly looking better than what Pritchard, excuse me, is giving you currently. Um, so yeah, man. Yeah, good problems to have for this team going forward. And a night like tonight is, like I said, this is like a showing out, kind of like coming out moment for Anthony, where it puts him in that conversation. It sparks, it plants the seed in the mind of Joe Mazzulla of like, hey, this guy, you know, he can be in that starting role if we need him. And he he's definitely, I think, earned a starting role over, some other guys that have been getting starting,
Yeah.
spot position, starting spot starts, uh, with the injuries and everything like that going on. Not having Tatum. No, we don't really have injuries. I'm just saying, mainly Tatum. Um, but yeah, man, really good stuff. I'll just go over these last ones. Real quick about what else we saw. Luka Garza, 28 minutes, 11 points, 4 of 8. I mean, he was playing solid defense, man. Just an absolute
Yeah.
spark off the bench today. Committed 4 fouls, and it still didn't really like take him out. It didn't really affect him that much. 4 fouls, whatever. He was still playing solid. I thought a couple of the fouls were um
Mhm.
probably didn't even need to really be called, but it's whatever.
Yeah, there was one that was called like Miami had Celtics had possession of the ball. It was that 3-point attempt, or it was like 2 minutes late or something. But
Yeah. Oh yeah. The one where they called it like super late. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah. Um, let's see. Jordan Walsh, 20 minutes today, 4 points, 8 rebounds. Really, really great on the boards today from him. He had a nice dunk today with the defender kind of like on his backside. Probably should have been an and one, to be honest. But he didn't give you, he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't really give you the scoring, which I feel like that's probably why he was kind of like taken out of the starting rotation, because the Celtics can't afford to really go into, double digit deficits like how they did today. Payne Pritchard not giving you anything, Derek White not giving you anything, and Jaylen Brown not really giving you anything that first half. So if Jordan Walsh was in that lineup too, I mean, like, the thing, it's probably going the same way, but his scoring hasn't been,
yeah,
it tailed off for a little bit. He kind of like hit little bit of a wall, but what hasn't tailed off is his rebounding still and his defensive intensity. Getting a hand in there, playing hard defense, making it hard for the uh contestant to make a shot. So still good stuff from him today. Hugo Gonzalez, 14 minutes, 2 points. He had a nice little like kind of like Euro step bucket. And yeah, just like when we needed those guys to come in and give us some energy on the defensive end, those two guys right there were absolutely stars in their role, playing defense and helping Anthony Simons help us get back into this game. Without the stops from Hugo and from Baylor, I mean, sorry, not Baylor, and from Garza and Jordan Walsh, like all those guys right there really helped contribute to locking down the defense, making it hard for Miami to shoot, um, and basically helped the Celtics propel in that fourth quarter to win that game. Um, Frame by frame, Miami scored 36 in that first frame, second frame 28, third 29, and then the fourth quarter their lowest scoring frame, 21 points. while the Celtics scored 36 in that fourth quarter to take over, seal that win. Just great quarter when you needed it, man. All credit to Anthony Simons. And just a couple other Celtics too, like Jaylen Brown and Derek White in that clutch time, 5 minutes down, 5 minutes to go in the game. All of them just really played well together. It wasn't one guy trying to, give me the ball, get out the way. Just a really overall solid team win and comeback, man. Just so good beating the Miami Heat. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. It was good when I love beating the Heat. It's just easy with them. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
always easy.
snap and snap the losing streak, and let's go get another one.
That's right, man.
Atlanta's next.
Yeah, who now we're playing a Atlanta team with no Trae Young. Uh, they are a team that plays better without Trae Young. So this is going to be an interesting game. Finally seeing a Hawks team without Trae Young, not just like on the bench or anything like that, but this is a completely new team now. Porzingis is still there. I don't even know if he's really playing anymore still,
Yeah.
but it'll be a good little reunion. Good little reunion out there in Atlanta. Trayless Hawks should be easy. I think you're right, man. I think you're right, Swoops. It can, like I said, it has. They have turned it. I mean, not they haven't turned it around, but they have showed that they can play better without Trae Young. Gonna be interesting to see. You know, how Joe Mazzulla wants to attack this team, and but I'm still I'm sure that they're gonna figure out a way to get this. I mean, a comeback win like this going into the next game, really good motivation, really good, what's the word I'm looking for? Momentum builder to start off the next game. You finish that final frame with 36. Going into the next game, you want to keep playing like how you played, like in that final frame. Go into the next game, first quarter, come out swinging. But the shot, you got to make the shots. The starters have to be better going into this next game. You can't have what they say on the broadcast, 10, 11 combined points from what was it? Jalen, White, and Pritchard, I believe it was. Like it's at some point in that second quarter. So you need more from those guys. I'm sure that they're gonna bounce back. Because like I said, they started playing like a team in that third, fourth quarter. So should be a confidence builder and chemistry builder, being like, hey, we lost those two games, we were kind of like not really playing our game. We won this one by coming together at the end, playing for each other, playing together. Let's go into the next game now playing with that mindset, that mentality, and they can win in Atlanta.
Yeah. Games like this, you just want to keep playing. You don't want to stop. Unfortunately, we have to wait till Saturday, but yeah, just come out strong. I think the first 5-10 minutes of the game will dictate how they're going to play for the rest of the game. I would love to see the starters just build a lead, play with confidence, play with energy, and not have. It's good to have the bench guys come in and energize everything, but you don't want to rely on that. The starters are
Every
the starters.
Yes, exactly. You can't rely on that every game, 100%. But yeah, I mean, this game they came off of two losses. They're in Miami. They were probably in Miami for what, 2 days now, 2-3 days, waiting for this, relaxing. It looked like Sam Hauser had a little bit of a sunburn. So these guys were they said that the weather wasn't the greatest out there, but um, you know they played like a team that was chilling in Miami, that was enjoying Miami nightlife to start that game. And it's you can't fault them, right? These guys are making a lot of dollars, got a lot of money to spend, a lot of money to burn, a lot, and they want to have fun too in the middle of a season. You can't fault them for that, right? But don't let it affect how you start a game. and it felt like it kind of affected how they started the game today. But they picked it up. They realized, oh shoot, there's a game going on. We're losing. We got to get it together, and they did.
Yeah, that Miami trap. I've been down there. I've been to the arena down there. South Beach isn't that far, maybe a mile or two. So
Mhm.
they're right there. They were right in the middle of the nightlife. I mean, I'm sure they were out, having fun. I'm
Yeah.
sure, but bounce back and get the win.
Yeah, I've been out there too. I haven't been in the stadium to see a game or anything, but I have been out there in South Beach, kind of like in the little tourist area along the water and stuff like that. Long, long time ago. But yeah, man, it's a beautiful, beautiful city. The guys are gonna want to go out. They're going to want to experience it, especially young guys like Hugo. You got Minot, those guys. They all want to go out, have fun, experience, live that life, that lifestyle, and it can seep into the game a little bit, but that it's been like that for years. You can't fault these guys. They're human too. They want to go have
Yeah,
fun. They want to experience, a city that they probably never been in before. And it is what it is. They won the game. That's what matters. And we roll on to the next one.
yeah.
This, yep, yep. This comment coming in from Swoops right here. Did Joe get in trouble for the illegal screen comments? I don't know, man. I did not hear anything about it. I mean, he didn't say anything disparaging towards the refs. He wasn't so he wasn't so blunt about it like Jalen Brown was. Um, I don't think you can find a guy that just says illegal screen over
No.
and over and over again. Because I mean, what kind of precedent are you sending if you're the NBA if you find a guy for just saying illegal screen, illegal screen, illegal screen? He didn't say anything about the ref. He didn't say the ref should have called an illegal screen. He just was pointing out what he saw. That's it. So
Yeah.
no, I don't think he got anything. If the NBA was going to do anything about that, they probably would have done it by now. It's been what 2-3 days. They find Jalen pretty quick after his comments. So
Yeah.
I think Joe is safe.
Yeah, the league came out and said it was an illegal screen. They came out with the last 2-minute report. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna find a guy for what he said that was correct, and the NBA actively said that there was an illegal screen. So yeah, Joe's safe. His checkbook is safe, but Jalen Brown. I mean, getting fined the 35,000 or whatever it was, literally just a drop in the water for him as far as his salary goes. It's gonna do nothing, but it is nice it. I mean, I'm split on this, right? I mean, I think when you're making a lot of money like that and you feel like you're not being respected by the league, by these officials, there have been instances of superstars where they feel like they do have to say something about the officiating and their luck changes when they make a comment about it. Um,
Mhm.
it's happened, right? So a lot of people getting tied up and upset at Jalen, and like pretty much like at the coaching staff now, saying, "Man, like, oh, they need to stop complaining." Like now we're getting into a point where it's complaining. I don't think it's too much. It was too much. A couple games span. I think when you're getting into like 3 games, 4 games, 5 games, where it's like talking about the officiating, that's when it's getting a little bit too much. But a
Mhm.
couple of games in a row where they talk about it, okay, maybe it does need to be addressed because maybe there is something going on with what they're saying. Like maybe there's some truth to it. And these guys get paid a lot of money. They can afford to, make a comment about it. If it's going to help their case and help them get a little bit more foul calls, why not? Why not go for it? Other superstars have done it in the past. It's worked for them. The league kind of like says, "Hey, maybe we do need to look at this." And it
Mhm.
benefits the team. The
Yeah.
Celtics have been a team for so many years where they do not get the benefit of the doubt on the whistle.
Mhm.
Going back to Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown in the past as well. Like those guys have won a championship. Like, do they not get the respect, the credit that they deserve? Like other players who haven't won a ring. Like there are some players out here that haven't won nothing that get insane whistles, man. Like why
Mhm.
can't the Celtics why can't some Celtics players say, "Hey, like Can we figure this out? Like
Yeah.
why not? Like they got the money, they can afford it, let it happen. Like, but it's not getting to a point where it's they're losing focus on the game and they're just bitching and screaming the whole game. I mean, we see superstar players that do it every single night, right? That will complain up and down the court, but Jalen has done it. It got it, the past couple of games that you can tell it's kind of gotten to him on the court tonight. He didn't get the a lot of calls, a lot of trips to the free throw line. But he got a decent amount, and it looked like hey, if you're gonna call it, if you're supposed to call it, if that's the rule, call it, and then
Mhm.
I won't be getting so crazy during the games, going at the refs all the time. If you just call it how you're supposed to, there's no favoritism towards it. Jalen's doing what he's got to do to get these fouls. I mean, but if they don't call it, say something. Go ahead, go for it.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. I know that there's been a
Yeah.
lot of people going crazy on it, basically saying like they don't agree with the approach and stuff like that. If a closed mouth don't get fed. You know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
got to open up your mouth. If you want to get what you want, you gotta open up your mouth and say it. And Jalen's doing that, and power to him, man, for kind of like coming out of his shell this year as being the number one guy, and basically saying like, if I'm gonna be a number one, I need to be treated like a number one, and I'm gonna act like a number one. I'm gonna say what's on my mind, and he's been able to even had a couple rough game stretch past couple games, but still dropped 27 tonight. Not the most efficient, but he's finding ways to back up his talk. And I think a guy like that you know like is a finals MVP deserves to be treated with the benefit of the doubt like other superstars. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
ridiculous that he doesn't. I don't, it's the Boston effect.
Yeah. Just years and years from what even Tatum gets to the line. I won't even throw him into that category, but the history of the Celtics, they're not referee favorites. I don't know if they're one thing about the referees is if you approach them right, I think they'll sort of there's gamesmanships, and you talk to them, you rub them on the back, how's your family, you make that small, try to build a little connection. Maybe the
Hmm.
Celtics just don't do that. Maybe they're not at that point. I don't know what it is, but it's tilted one direction it shouldn't be. Jalen Brown should be going to the line ten times a game minimum because all the
Facts.
contacts. He's not a jump shooter. He's in the middle of the lane. He's in the fast break. He's taking it to the basket. If he's not creating 10 fouls on shooting attempts, then who is?
Right.
It's just mind boggling.
I agree. I agree with you, man.
Yeah.
Swoops checking in right here. LB has 47 off the bench and 85. That's the record. Anthony came close tonight. Okay. Anthony was 8 points off of the record, but still an amazing game from Anthony. Swoops, thank you for that fact, my man. Thank you. Appreciate you looking that up and posting that here. Um, man, I mean, yeah, man. I'm just really excited to get to the All-Star break. Because once we get to that All-Star break, man, that's it. The countdown is on for the Tatum return if he returns this year. But I think it's happening. I just really want to get to that part of the season and let these guys get a little bit of a break. Feels like probably only Jalen Brown is going to be going to the All-Star game this year. Going to be interesting to see if he participates. Um, with the toll that he's taken this year, for the team, starting being the number one guy, see how hard he's going to play. Cause, they've kind of, him and Tatum have tried to kind of like prove themselves in these all-star games these past couple seasons.
Yeah.
So a season without Tatum, it's gonna be interesting to see if Jalen kind of like goes to assert himself even more in the All-Star game and show off, what he's been doing this season, or if he kind of like takes like, hey, like I kind of need this vacation a little bit. I'm kind of just like gonna play easy during this All-Star break and kind of like save that energy for the second half coming up. But that's what I think that he might kind of like go easy. What do you think about that?
Yeah, he might. I mean, he's logged a lot of minutes. He's taken on a big load this year. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know who's in line to be the head coach on that game, but like, if Joe's got a relationship with whoever the coach is, to say, hey, keep him on the bench, play him. He might be the starter coming in the East, but he plays 10, 15 minutes, and that'll be the night for him. Score a couple of baskets, just enjoy the show.
I feel you. Swoops through 40 games. Our record is still the same as last year. Man, my boy Swoops here bringing in the facts, man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you participating in this, man. 40 games and the record is the same as last year. Who in their right mind saw that happening this year? Like, come on. Like that is a success right there in itself, that the fact that the Celtics can be this far into the season having the same record as last year with no Tatum. With no Tatum. And you still have Tatum coming back to this team.
Yep.
Man, these guys have been hooping this year, man. Just absolutely watching just great basketball, even without Tatum. And when Tatum gets back, we've said it all year. We don't got to say it again. This team's going to contend. So
Yeah.
it's going to get better with Tatum coming back. Hopefully, right? Like if he comes back to form, it's still going to take him a little bit, but really excited about this team, man. What they've been able to accomplish this year. Um, if you came into the season, or if Tatum got hurt last season, and you kind of came into the season and you were just like, I'm not really gonna watch and everything. Like, Tatum, their best player's out. Team's not gonna be good. Man, you have been massively wrong. And you've been missing some really, really good basketball from this team. Um, this is why we watch the games. This is why, we still tune in for to see the development of these players, how they are incorporated into the Joe Mazzulla system, and seeing what Mazzulla can do you know with what Brad Stevens is giving him. I mean, he's passing with flying colors right now. A lot of people, basically saying, "Oh, he can't win without a super team." Look at what he's done this year. 40 games, same record, not even nearly remotely close to the same team talent wise as last year, and they're still getting it done with JB as the number 1 guy. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Like that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. And all the credit in the world to Brad Stevens. These young kids are just, I think it's a good mix. The veterans and the young kids. These young kids are energizing the veterans, I'm sure, in practice. And yeah, it's a good mix. Brad's put a competitive team together. And for everyone that thought this team was going to think again. I mean, we're going to most likely head into the playoffs and hopefully make some damage, make some little noise, but we got to keep it up, though.
You're right. And it's not even like we have like green teamer goggles on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's not even that. It's just when you watch the team, you watch who they're playing, the competition that and the level and the energy and everything that they're giving you every night. I it's showing. You can see it. Like real hoopers, real ball knowers watch it and they see like that's a good basketball team. Like like they play as a team, right? It's not just one guy. It's everybody. It's the collective unit. Yeah, man. Like they're going to be a sleeper, right? Like a lot of and a lot of the players on the team, they're not household names. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Josh Minot, Anthony Simon is not really a household name. He's like he was really known up there in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, that's about it, right? Luca Garza, Jordan Walsh, these guys, right? They're not superstar marquee names or anything like that. There's a lot of guys on this team where the general public isn't gonna really know, like when they see a national televised game and they see Luca Garza, who the heck is that? And then they see Luca Garza hooping and giving their team work. they're gonna
Yeah.
be like, "Whoa, what?" Like, a lot of
Yeah.
people come playoffs are gonna be shocked. They're gonna be shocked. Not saying that they're, going the distance or anything, but you're seeing series go 6, 7 games with this
Yeah.
unit. It's wide open in the East. So, uh, like we're very fortunate to have this team that we have right now with a down year without Tatum and still be in this position because the East is just like that wide open. Um,
Yeah.
so it's a really great season of basketball. There's not really one team that's like super powerhouse. Yeah, you can say OKC, but we can see that they're beatable, especially in the
Yeah.
West. We can see
Yeah.
that there are Western Conference teams that it will not be a lock for OKC to repeat this year. Which this is probably the most wide open I've seen the NBA be in a while.
Yeah, even the top. I mean, New York slightly above us, and Cleveland up and down. Detroit's been consistent. I mean, everyone below us, we're sitting tight in that third spot. But
Yeah.
we,
I'm not really like scared of like any East team besides maybe Detroit. That's
yeah,
it. And you saw we went to battle with the Denver Nuggets, right? Only lost by what, a one possession.
yeah,
The Celtics team without Tatum being able to stay within one possession. Okay, they didn't have Jokic, right? But
yeah,
Jamal Murray's no slouch. They got Gordon on that team too, and they still went toe to toe with them without Tatum. So you get in a matchup, you get into a matchup with the West. The Celtics haven't been able to prove that they can win against a top team in the West yet, but they're right there. They're on the doorstep still. So it's like I said, the Celtics, if they make it, it's still really anybody's game. I still feel like with Tatum on the team, they can find a way if they make it to the finals to beat an OKC. They can find a way to maybe pull a couple wins against Denver. Yeah, it's a lot of season to go, but still a lot of exciting basketball to watch. A lot of good basketball to watch this season. It hasn't even been a season where you have all these expectations. So any win is kind of just like you know an extra slice of cake, and all the losses, they don't really hurt that bad because you don't have these crazy expectations. We won a chip a couple years back now, and we don't have Tatum, right? So anything that these guys do this year is an accomplishment. Doesn't matter if they don't win the finals or anything. This year is a success, as it stands currently right now. And even even where they end up at the end of the season, I still consider this a success because they're doing this without Tatum, and they're still over here top 3 team in the East. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
yeah, yeah. It's remarkable coaching job. Coach of the year right now, Joe Mazzulla. He's got to be unanimous in my opinion. Without Tatum and the roster that he's been handed, JB, Derek, but everyone else, you know, he's
Yeah,
done wonders with this roster.
they'll give him coach of the month, which he won't
Yeah,
care about, but they won't give
yeah,
him coach of the year, and then the fans will go like, "That's bullshit."
yeah,
So, um, you know, but that's the Celtics, and when it comes to awards and stuff like that, they don't really give Celtics any credit for anything that they do.
mm,
They'll just be like, "Oh, Joe Mazzulla, yeah, but he has Brad Stevens to build the team," and it's like, all right, so give him the GM of the year every year then. Like, come on.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. It's all those ESPN guys.
mhm.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, solid win tonight. Don't really have anything else to say besides that. You know, so yeah, good stuff, man. Excited for the next game. Uh Shoot, when is that? Sunday, right? You said?
Saturday, I believe.
Saturday, right. Yeah, it is Saturday. Shoot, I don't know if I'm doing the post game for that. I said I was gonna update that and I totally forgot. I gotta get on that today. Let's see, Celtics. Checking out the schedule. Just want to see the time. 4:30.
Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. No, it's 4:30 p.m. my time, West Coast time.
You. Okay.
Yeah, it's 7:30 for you, so it's still a night game. But yeah, man, other than that, I think I might be. I'm not sure. I got to look at my work schedule. Other than that, we're gonna head on out of here for this post game. If you joined us, we appreciate you. Let me give a shout out to Mouthpiece617. Appreciate you for tuning in, man, and giving us the little comment today. Anything helps, help boost us in the algorithm or whatever. And Swoops, another stream now where you come out and giving us some good feedback, some good comments, talking hoops here. If you want to, share the podcast, let people know, hey, these guys come on. After most post games, we try to get here when we can. Work schedule permitting for me out here on the West Coast. It's a little bit harder for me sometimes to get in to a post game, but yeah, man, give us a follow. I'm on X at Parquet Poppy. Adrian here is at NBA Swing Pass, and the Dynasty Proud and Boston Sports Entertainment Network is the handles right down here. We cover everything. Our team here, they cover everything Boston sports. So Bruins, Pats, and the Red Sox as well. The guys over at the Pesky Podcast just did a live sit down, kind of like reaction with Lou Merloni last night. So if you were able to tune into that, that was a great interview right there, coming off of the Ranger Suarez news of Boston, of him signing to Boston. Absolutely impeccable timing for that. Shout out to the guys at Pesky Podcast. They were able to get Lou Merloni on there, get his reaction the day of. Huge for the Boston Sports Entertainment Network and the Pesky Podcast. And appreciate everybody that tunes in to support us. And basically, we're just here to just talk hoops, talk ball, talk sports, and we appreciate you guys for tuning in and coming in to talk with us, man. Just a really good group of guys out here that guys and girls that are here to talk hoops and just connect with anybody in the New England sports community, man. Really appreciate y'all for stopping in and tuning in. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. With that said, we are going to sign out for the night. My boy Adrian, it was good talking to you today. Hopefully we get that win in the next one. Like I said, everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight, listening to us ramble. Other than that, everybody, peace out. Have a great night. Enjoy that Celtics win. And as always, let's go Celtics. Peace out, everyone.
Ends tonight here. It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.